Hey, this is Shane Markham from ECMP 355. This is my final reflection wrap-up for this semester. This multimedia presentation will be going through what I learned throughout the semester and what I took away from it. I will be highlighting this through my 5 favorite takeaways, which were basically the 5 most important things I found that I took out from the semester. There's so many positive ideas and exciting new tools I learned through the collaboration of all my classmates, my teacher, and as well as all the guest speakers we had come in through our live sessions, that I needed to narrow it down in order to give each of my picks justice. So the 5 I'm going to be going through with you today is going to be the role of teachers, CELI, which is a internet program which you can use to communicate with your students, which I will go into a little bit more detail later, the effectiveness of blogging, Google Drive, and of course the importance of collaboration. So you can follow me through here as we go, and I'm going to just let you know exactly what I learned as I went through my journey through this course. So one of the big questions that came up throughout many of our live sessions and through the blogs posted by my classmates was that of the role of the teacher in the classroom and how that's been changing throughout the last little bit. Ken Robinson is one of those people who has really addressed this issue, and he talks about changing the educational paradigm. So we have to know that as educators we have to adapt and be able to change, and this is something that I've been thinking about throughout internship and even afterwards. So this class just made me think about that even more, as I realized that there was so much technology that I did not know about, and that is just important for me to learn and get a grasp on if I'm going to continue to move along and keep up with the educational world and keep teaching these students and help to be able to connect with them and let them get to the places where they are, because it's no longer a question of asking a question, getting them to answer it because they can figure that out. It's giving them the tools to go and learn themselves and help guide them through what you kind of want them to end up with at the end of the day. So no one really knows where it's going, and we're the next generation of teachers, and we have to know that change is inevitable and we will have to move with it and change as we go. CELI was one of the programs that really stood out for me through this course that I thought I would actually use as I get my own classroom. It's similar to Remind 101, except you can actually have the option of getting the students to be able to text you back as well as their parents. They can do this anonymously, which is great for asking questions, or you can have it so they know who you are, so they can ask specific questions about specific students. You know, they can get a checkup on how their son or daughter is doing, and you can quickly and easily relay that information because it's a surprising amount of people have cell phones nowadays, and you can use this to really communicate and bridge the gap between home and school and get the parents involved as well as the students. They have problems with them in the classroom, so why not use them to our advantage? To me, this is something that you can use for next level teaching and will become really handy as we move on trying to incorporate technology into our classrooms. Through this course, I was able to realize the effectiveness of blogging more than I had in the past. I had to have a blog for one of my final classes, but I didn't really use it as much as I would have liked to, and I actually invested myself into this blog and got really into it and did quite a bit of things through it. Part of it was necessity for the course, but I also enjoyed it as well. And I realized that you can really use a blog as a hub for almost everything you need in your classroom. It can be a place to organize students' assignments, you can organize your assessment and evaluation. It's a place for students to communicate with each other, and most of all, it can be a place for students to publicly share their work. And I like this because when a student is writing something for their teacher, there's not a big amount of pressure there for them to create a solid piece of work, whereas if the work is there publicly for the entire world to see, that student's going to put in quite a bit of effort in order to come up with a piece of work that's going to be something that they would really be proud of showing and presenting. The next program I want to talk about is Google Drive. This is something I didn't know too much about before this class, but in fact I had been using it throughout my university classes with group projects where we had all had a Google document and we had all added to that as we went, but through this class I was able to explore it some more and learn all the intricacies about it. You can actually store all of your files online You can access them anywhere you want. You can do Google Documents, PowerPoints, Excel sheets, and they can all be in one place so a group can look at them. You can have multiple people working on them at once, and as well, you can work on them whenever you want. You don't have to get together with your group if you need to do some work. So this can work great things in the high school classroom as you work through group projects. Students don't have an excuse like, oh, we never have time to meet or anything like that. It's always there, and they can always work on it. And you can keep tabs on them. You can have your students add you to the Google Doc, and you can keep an eye on what they're doing and how effective they're using their class time. The last thing I want to talk about is the importance of collaboration. It's more of a concept than a program per se, but it's something that really came to light through this course. Throughout my education degree, I was told that collaboration was important, that it's what all successful educators do is collaborate, but this course really reinforced that fact. We learned everything from other people in this course. It was either from learning from other students, learning from our prof, or learning from our guest speakers. It was all through collaboration and learning from one another. I, for one, didn't learn too much just on my own. I had to go to other sources and collaborate and learn from there. So it's something that's a really big deal, and that I'm going to have to push in my classroom and make sure that students understand the importance of collaboration, and hopefully we can move away from all the standardized testing and testing altogether and just have a education full of collaboration. So thank you for joining me, listening to me talk about my 5 top takeaways from ECMP 355, and those were, of course, the role of teachers, CELI, the effectiveness of blogging, Google Drive, and the importance of collaboration. I'm Shane Markham, and I had a wonderful time learning in this class, and I took away many other things on top of that. Those were just the 5 that I wanted to highlight, so thanks again.